September is Sickle Cell Awareness Month, and I have Visha Jameson from the American Red Cross. She is the Sickle Cell Account Manager for South Carolina. Welcome to the show. Welcome to your new role. It's great to see you again.
Thank you so much, Koko. It's great to be here. Great to see you as well.
It's been such a long time since we've talked about sickle cell awareness, and so we wanted to kind of get caught back up to speed of the importance of blood donations. First off, can you tell us a little bit about your role with the American Red Cross?
Awesome. I have been with the Red Cross about a year now, and in this role as a sickle cell account manager, I serve the community in education and outreach, of course, which is my passion. But also, our role is recruiting more African American donors. Right now, we only make up about 4% of the donor pool, so our goal is to increase those numbers so that our patients with sickle cell disease who require blood transfusions more often have that supply on the shelf when they need it the most. Their most compatible match comes from someone with the same race or ethnicity. So that is my charge to scour South Carolina and help to bring in more donors to be able to help our patients with sickle cell and to meet that need.
And you have a very powerful story. Tell a little bit about your passion for sickle cell awareness.
Absolutely. So I am a mom of a sickle cell warrior. I have a beautiful, or I should say handsome son who's 12 years old, and he has sickle cell anemia type SS. And that is one of the most aggressive types, to be honest with you. And so that is part of my passion that brought me to the Red Cross. As you know, I've worked in advocacy and education for years because of that reason. And with the American Red Cross having this specific initiative, who better fit for the job than someone who has sat on the end of those life-saving transfusions. So I understand the importance of blood donation, blood transfusions, and what it means to our patients with sickle cell because I experienced it firsthand. I live the life every single day, and there have been moments where my precious baby boy has been, just down and out in a pain crisis, and that blood transfusion was the one thing that essentially helped him get through that crisis.
Is it really just as simple as just getting blood donations that would pretty much fix the problem?
It's not that simple, and that's why we say blood donation or blood transfusions are essential because they're one of the treatment measures. Right now, there's not a universal cure for sickle cell. There are medications, there are things that assist, but in those acute moments, a lot of times blood transfusions are the one treatment that will help them to recover in a pain crisis. It helps to replenish. And if I can just kind of explain, like with a pain crisis, sickle cell disease is a disorder of the red blood cells. So where our bodies make round, nice, soft, and supple blood cells, they flow easily through the bloodstream. Patients with sickle cell make a lot of sickle-shaped cells, which are just like a crescent moon or a banana, if you can imagine. And they're hard, rigid, and sticky, and they don't flow as easily through the bloodstream. So when those cells get entrapped, that's what causes those pain crises. So those transfusions help to replenish those healthy red blood cells and help to get those entrapments gone to ease the pain from those crises.
For the patient, how long does that transfusion last? Just kind of describe what they're going through.
Sure. So in those acute moments, and when I say acute moments, those are like episodic events, right? We do have patients who receive regular exchanges. So just in one of those acute crises, I would say if they've been in pain for a few days, once they get that blood transfusion, it's almost instant. Like you can see the life come back into them. And a lot of times it's my son, I'll use us for an example. He's received just 1 unit of blood, and you definitely can see literally the life coming back. Beforehand, they are very lethargic, don't have energy to do much at all, just almost lifeless, if you can imagine. And once that transfusion happens, you literally just see them come back to life in front of your eyes. Now, for those patients who receive regular exchanges, that can be to the magnitude of anywhere 8 to 12 units every 4 to 6 weeks. So you have some patients who receive multiple units of blood monthly, and those exchanges, they literally need that to live.
Okay, so let's talk about the blood donations. Who is eligible to donate blood for sickle cell?
Okay. There are some exclusions. We tell everyone, we measure that on a case by case basis, right? There are certain medications that will exclude you. There are certain illnesses that will also exclude you. So I would, just recommend going to www.redcrossblood.org and clicking on donor eligibility just to see the exclusions. But if you are, for the most part, healthy and well, not on any of the medications that are on our deferral list, or a patient that has any of the illnesses that are on our deferral list, then you are eligible to donate, and we want your blood, right?
So, is it just a one time donation, or is there a way that you can donate regularly?
Absolutely. We want people to become regular donors. So if you donate whole blood, you can donate every 56 days. So that's up to 6 times per year. We want people to become consistent donors because guess what? The blood goes on the shelf and it goes off the shelf, right? So we want to keep it replenished. We want to keep a good supply on the shelf. And we've seen those numbers drop, especially during COVID. And our blood supply, it remains at a very vulnerable state. We've had patients who's had to wait for blood, a unit of blood to arrive. So we want to make sure that people, not only donate one time, but kind of get on a regular schedule. If it's 2 times a year, 3 times a year, we often recommend scheduling that like, an annual physical, or, just kind of incorporating it to into your quarterly routines, right? So we want it to be on a consistent basis.
All right, September is Sickle Cell Awareness Month, and they certainly do have the right person in the right position, Visha. You have always been so gracious. It's wonderful talking with you again. One more time, for people who would like to get more information about blood donation for sickle cell awareness and find out the criteria, where do they go?
www.redcrossblood.org, and you can click on donor eligibility. There's also a link that is specific to sickle cell, so you can go to www.redcrossblood.org/sickle cell.
All right. Thank you so much for your time. Enjoy it always.
As always, it's a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
September is Sickle Cell Awareness Month, and I have Visha Jameson, who is the Sickle Cell Account Manager for the South Carolina Red Cross, joining us to talk about the importance of blood donations. It is so great to see you again, Visha. First up, congratulations in your new role. Tell us a little bit about what you do with the American Red Cross.